Hello viewers, welcome to our channel again. Please keep watching our channel for more videos on literature. Today we are going to analyze John Osborne's play Look Back in Anger. Let's get acquainted with John Osborne first. John Osborne was an actor, playwright, producer, theatre actor who was born in 1929 and died in 1994. British playwright John Osborne's Look Back in Anger steered in a new moment in British drama and made it known as the first of Angry Young Men. John Osborne was born on December 12, 1929 in London, England. His first play, The Devil Inside Him, was written in 1950 with his friend and mentor Stella Linden. In 1956, the English stage company produced his play Look Back in Anger. In 1958, Osborne and director Tony Richardson founded Woodfall Film Productions and produced motion pictures versions of some of Osborne's plays. Osborne died in Clun, Shropshire, England on 24 December 1994. Look Back in Anger, which was published in 1956, is a realist play written by John Osborne. Realism is a situation which accepts the situation as it is and being prepared to deal with it accordingly. It focuses on the life and marital struggles of an intelligent and educated but restless young man of working class origin, Jimmy Potter, and his equally competent yet deadpan upper middle class wife, Ellison. Deadpan means someone who is impassive or expressionless. The supporting characters include Cliff Lewis, a cordial Welsh lodger who attempts to keep the peace, and Helena Charles, Ellison's snobbish friend. A lodger is a person who pays money to live in someone else's house. In John Osborne's play, Look Back in Anger, the overeducated and underemployed Jimmy Porter disparages his work and life. Disparages means he regards his work as being of little worth. He often condemns his wife Ellison, whom he sees as overweening. An overweening person behaves in an unpleasant way because they think that they are more important than they really are. Jimmy's anger and frustration lead Ellison to move back in with her father, but by the end of the play, they manage to reconcile. Jimmy runs a little candy shop with his friend Cliff Lewis. He is discontented with his work and feels that he deserves more out of life. His anger causes his wife Allison to leave him at the adjuring of her friend Helena. Helena and Jimmy get into a fight when Allison leaves, but it turns into passion and they stay together as a couple for several months. Allison, who has miscarried, comes back to the house. Helena, feeling guilty, reconciles with Allison and leaves Jimmy. Allison and Jimmy seem to be back together at the end of the play. Look Back in Anger opens on a lazy mid-1950s Sunday morning in a one-room attic apartment in a town in the English Midlands. As usual, Jimmy Potter and his friend and business partner Cliff Lewis are reading the Sunday papers while Jimmy's wife Ellison irons. As usual, Jimmy is verbally striking everyone and everything around him, including Cliff and Ellison, who seem to take his anger in stride. That means she is trying to deal with the problem or difficulty calmly, as calm as possible. What makes Jimmy so angry? To support a political reading of Look Back in Anger, critics cite Jimmy's famous speech near the end of the play: there aren't any good brave causes left. suggesting that Jimmy's anger comes from his disappointment that the faded Edwardian glory of England can no longer be real and felt with conviction and enthusiasm. Both the resolution of the conflict and the end of the play comes as Ellison returns, having lost both the baby and her fertility, in a scene that some critics find insufficiently motivated. Helena leaves and gives Jimmy back to Ellison. The play ends with Jimmy and Ellison reconciling, in part because Jimmy is satisfied that Ellison's pain has brought her more in tune with his own suffering. The reconciliation is richly ambiguous. Have Jimmy and Ellison really repaired the marriage? Was it worth saving? Or have they simply hid from the problems they cannot face and handle? Let us discuss the themes in the play. The first major theme is alienation. It means experiencing or inducing feelings of isolation. Alienation is an important theme in John Osborne's Look Back in Anger. It is 1956. Britain has lost its soul, according to Jimmy, and they are living in an American age that has left men like Jimmy Potter behind. He feels alienated from the establishment, the upper crust of British society, which has shut him out of the most lucrative jobs because of his class. The next theme is angry young men. The angry young men were a group of mostly working and middle class British playwrights and novelists who became prominent in 1956. The group's leading figure included John Osborne and Kingsley Amis. The phrase was originally coined by Royal Court Theatre press officer in order to promote Osborne's 1956 play Look Back in Anger. Jimmy Potter's anger dominates the play. This theme is prevalent, affecting the plot, the characters, and the tone of entire play. The other theme is kitchen sink drama or kitchen sink realism. Kitchen sink realism is a British cultural movement that developed in the late 1950s and early 1960s in theatre, art, novels, film, and television plays, whose protagonists usually could be described as angry young men who were disillusioned with modern society. It used a style of social realism which depicted the domestic situations of working class Britons living in cramped rented accommodation and spending their off hours drinking in grimy pubs to explore controversial social and political issues ranging from abortion to homelessness. The harsh, realistic style contrasted sharply with the escapism of the previous generation's so-called well-made plays. In case you are looking towards a face-to-face class, please contact us as per the given detail and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.